Hey, what's going on guys, it's Bagas here and welcome back to another video. And as I promised a week ago, because this video was supposed to come out on Wednesday, but I was busy with school and stuff, so it didn't come out on Wednesday. But anyways, in the last video, I promised that the next video, which again was supposed to be the Wednesday video, but we're doing it now, was gonna be non-gameplay. I was gonna do something else. And here we are with a video that I don't know, I guess I just wanted to do it because I had no other ideas and I didn't want to do J-pop. So, in today's video, I'm going to talk about a game that is really big on the, well, actually that, it's a big part of this channel. Gotta just move the mic. That is a big part of the channel, and why I'm sort of in a love-hate relationship with it, and also explains my, I know, decisions with the game, like playing it and such. That doesn't make any sense, but yeah. This video is completely unscripted. I just wrote a few notes, so yeah, you're gonna see me stutter and do whatever, yeah. But I will also mention that the footage that you'll be seeing is just B-roll footage from like my previous videos, because I can't be bothered finding new footage. I mean, can't. So you're just gonna see old gameplay footage from the other videos. So enough of that. Let's get on with the video. I think the aspect that I love most about Jurassic World Life is the darting aspect. Because, and honestly, I think it's... okay, to be fair, Jurassic World Life is really engaging, as, you're not just kind of just clicking buttons and such. But I think it's most emphasized in the darting aspect, because, they took the aspect of catching Pokemon in Pokemon Go, and just made it their own with, with darts that you can shoot the creatures in specific spots, and depending on how close you are to the center of that circle thing, you get more DNA. I think that's a really good system because it encourages the players to actually, improve their skills and their accuracy to get better rewards. And speaking of rewards, I also really like how the leveling up system kind of gives you a sense of achievement because, for most creatures like commons or even rares, you mostly get them from darting. And the more you dart, the more your creatures level, the more DNA your creatures get, the higher level you get, and therefore it kind of creates a greater sense of achievement to the players, and they can sort of pat themselves on the back, for leveling up creatures to a certain level, and this is further, I guess, amplified or whatever word you want to use with hybrids. Because hybrids has been a really big aspect of the Jurassic World series, well, since Jurassic World, um, and I think when you get your first hybrid, it's, I don't know, it gives a great, I don't know, it's like a huge achievement, because it's almost like you've grinded a lot, and then you finally get your first hybrid, and I don't know, it's an achievement. And with I guess with the rarities, yes, that's what I'm trying to find. In fact, actually, when you unlock your first epic, it's a huge sense of achievement because with epics, it's really hard to get the DNA, especially if you're at a low level where you don't get as much DNA even if you get a direct hit. Once you finally do unlock your first epic, and it's kind of special to you. And this further goes on to the hybrids I was talking about before. And when you get your first epic hybrid, first legendary hybrid, first unique hybrid, there's a great sense of achievement with each one that I think that they really, I don't know, they really did good at. Another thing that I like about Jurassic World Life is the Alliance missions. I love how they made the Alliance more, I don't know, have a bigger reward. Because, in other games like Clash Royale, you get the war days, but, it just kind of depends on how much other people play, which I guess this is too, but you get what I mean. You're just, like, basically playing the game a bunch and grinding and such. But in Jurassic World Live, you have Alliance missions, where basically, if you complete this set of missions, you can upgrade your incubator, and, at the end of the week, you get that incubator at the level in which you managed to get it up to. That creates a huge sense of, I don't know, contribution from the whole alliance, because you're working together to grind up for these rewards, and I'm glad they also made the rewards actually worth it. Like, you can get a lot of DNA for, if you get to the higher tier, so it's incentivizes you and your alliance to grind to get to a certain level, or to get to the max level. And I don't know. I think they did the alliance system a lot better in this than other games and such. To be fair, I haven't played many games like this, so the never played Clash Royale. So my kind of comparison is kind of biased, but hey, that's what's it. Also thought that was a really good idea introducing events, because you can, in the events, you can get creatures that you normally couldn't find out in the wild or just uncommon in your area, and get the DNA you need. This mostly applies to hybrids and epics, because epics are so hard to come by in the game, and when you do find them, I know it's really important that you dart it, because they don't come around often. So when they do come around, it's like, oh, I need to dart that. And events are a good way of increasing the chances of you getting hybrids that require epics, because a lot of hybrids require epics. And so having these events to help you get the DNA for them is really good. So it doesn't feel your players aren't like, oh god damn it, this is gonna take forever because I don't have epics. So yeah, the events are definitely a good thing, and also specifically to considering the whole pandemic situation we're still currently at. GigaSense was a good way of, I don't know, kind of not necessarily negating, it's just like reducing the effects of the pandemic, because with the GigaSense you have 3 hours and you can just get creatures constantly spawning every 2 minutes. So you don't have to go out into the world and get possibility of contracting the virus. You just stay at home and then you'll have creatures spawn around you, and sometimes it's mostly commons and such, but if you're lucky you could get epics, you could get you can get rares, you can get epics and try to make like a trader. So yeah, GigaSense was a good way to cope with the pandemic, and the bigger range also, because initially I think it was 150, was it, before the pandemic update is what I'm gonna call it, but they increased the range to 200, and this is for the base level, not for the VIP. The VIP is even further. I think it's like 266 for the VIP, but for regulars 200. That also means you get more supply drops and such. And speaking of supply drops, I don't know if Pokemon Go changed their supply drop system, but I know in Jurassic World Online, because I played it, as long as the supply drop is within that 200 range, you can click it and get the rewards. It's just that the rewards are reduced compared if you get it in your smaller radius. And that was another really good way of coping with the pandemic. And I think, was it always a system in Jurassic World Live? I honestly don't remember, but it's been so long. But that was definitely a good update if it was an update. If it was in the beginning, that was a good thing to implement from the start. And it's also kind of balances, because the rewards are not as high, meaning that it's you still have an incentive to go near the supply drops themselves to get more rewards. But the fact that you can get that even though you're not on top of it is, I don't know, a great way to cope with the pandemic, as I've been saying over and over again. And I think that's pretty much all the aspects, well, not all the aspects, most of the aspects I can think of that I specifically love about Jurassic World Life. So let's just get into the next segment, and it's not gonna be pretty. Right, on to the bad. I think the one aspect I truly hate in Jurassic World Life is the battle system, specifically the matchmaking system. Now, to be fair, battles aren't just the rank battles. You have the tournaments and you have the incubators that you have under those supply drops. And I actually quite like those. Gives you a great way to get DNA quickly, because the challenges are really too hard, and you have really having if you have decent creatures, then you can get the rewards. And as for tournaments, when they were first introduced, they were a really good idea, because it essentially evens out the playing field. So you don't have crazy a crazy power gap, for lack of a better word, between you and your opponent's creatures. So it's more fair and balanced that way. But yeah, the regular battles and so much. I mean, you've seen my videos. You've seen how big of a power gap that is between just Lockwood's estate, or whatever that arena is called, and Aviary. Like in Lockwoods, I fought mostly like level 20 legendaries, and when I got up to Aviary, I fought level 26 boosted uniques. That is way too big of a power gap. And if you know my team, you know my team has like 3 uniques. In fact, no, it has 2 uniques. I'm still getting the third one, and they're not even above like I think the highest was only level 22. So I don't know. It's hard to me because like, and I'm not saying this to brag, but I've gotten to the rank I am now mostly because of my skill, not because of my creatures. Because like, if you've seen some of my older videos, um, you've seen that my team has never been OP. I only bit boost on creatures that I intend to keep on the team forever because boost is something we'll talk about later. But just know that the boost system is very good. We'll talk about that later, as I said. But I've mostly got up to my rank because of my skill. Because of how I play, my tactics, and how I can predict my opponents, that type of thing. I have never really got up the ranks just because of how good my creatures are. How let's just say how much I grind. But when I got up to Aviary, the first couple of matches actually, the first few little moments I was up in Aviary, I was actually having a lot of fun doing the battles because it was still relatively evenly matched against my opponents. I mean, they still had higher level creatures for the most part, but it's more evenly. I was more like I still stood a chance. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. That's the aspect of battle I like. That it's an actual competition, an actual challenge that you have to overcome. Now the problem is, sometimes the challenges involve a level 30 unique with boosts. A lot of boosts, and from the moment you see a creature come out of that, you're just done. You might as well just close the game. Because there's no way you can win. Even if it's just one high level creatures with boosts, then you're done. And assuming your team is also not highly leveled and boosted. So I don't know. I wish they would change the matchmaking system because right now it's based on your trophy rank. It's based on how many trophies you have, and they match that to an opponent that has similar trophies to you. And I really wish there was a way for them to do it based on team strength as opposed to trophies, because it I don't know, it match makes you with more, I don't know, evenly, what's the right word I'm trying for? And it just makes it more of a fair match because the creatures are going to be similar level to each other from both you and your opponent, so it's more of an actual more of an actual battle requires skill rather than just grinding and boosting. And I've teased it for long enough, so let's talk about boosts. So ever since boosts were introduced to the game, it kind of broke it a bit. Now, I will say the one good aspect of boost is that it gives players more creative freedom with how they make their teams. Because back before the days of boost, you pretty much had this good dinosaur and then that's a bad dinosaur because they all had their base stats. Now with boost, you can upgrade the stats on that I guess less powerful dinosaur to make it kind of compete more with the more powerful dinosaur. And that aspect is a really good thing actually, because like I said, it makes teams more diverse and encourages players to actually choose their favorite creatures instead of tier hoarding, as I think the term for it is. And I'm pretty sure they also had good intentions. I'm pretty sure that was why they introduced boost. But the problem is, they also made it so you can buy boosts. That wasn't a good decision because the game from that point on pretty much just became pay to win because you can spend bucks to buy those boosts, and yeah, you can also buy bucks for money, and there you go, you just became a pay to win game. So you can fight against people who you clearly can almost 100% sell pay to win because they have extremely high level boosts and not the high ranking arenas. So I guess the problem with Jurassic World Alive now is that the battle aspect of it just becomes pay to win. So yeah, that's the one thing that was, I don't know, I guess kind of sad about, because back before then, the battles were actually really fun, but after boosts pretty much made it pay to win, it's not as fun as I used to, and that's why I don't do battles normally in my spare time. I only do them in videos because it's for content, but I usually don't do battles. So, and boosts and the fact that the matchmaking system is kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say broken, but it kind of is broken. But yeah, that's why I don't do battles in my regular time. Yeah, and I wish they could find a way to fix it. I mean, the most obvious solution is just take boosts out of the market completely. That's the band-aid to the situation, and I honestly don't know how else they could fix it. I mean, with the boost reshuffle events, they're good because, people, because, creatures get updated all the time, stats change, and tiers also change. And, if you boosted a creature that, is no longer good, you can take the boost off for free. Because, boosts are also, when you want to take them off, you get 50% back. That is not good. Like, don't do that. Just make it say you basically get them for free, because it encourages people to actually, switch up their teams, find out which ones work. And, they're improving on that with boosted shuffles, but the problem is they're too sparse. So they just either need to have more often, or you just need to make boosts, kind of, you can get back the boost you spent completely free of charge. So, yeah. And, I think that's pretty much everything I heated. And they all involve the battles and the boosts. So, yeah, I guess we can, I don't know, get to the outro of this video. So, to kind of wrap things up and to give a conclusion and such, Jurassic World Live is really two separate games rolled into one, because you have the Pokemon Go aspect and you have the battling aspect. Now, the stuff that involves the darting, the leveling up, the other stuff that happens in, the open world, well, open simulator, whatever you want to call it. I really love that aspect. It gives a sense of achievement. It actually, requires actual player skill rather than, pay to win. And, it also kind of encourages you to play the game more often. And also think the alliance stuff is really good for helping players that, are lower in the, are newer to the game to get, to kind of improve their game with the help of other people in their alliance. And unfortunately, the battles are just really upsetting, I think is the right term for this, because I don't fully hate the battles. I just find them really, I don't know, I just don't want to do them, because it's a 50-50 really, because I could get matched up against an opponent of my skill level, and then it'll actually be a fun fight, no matter if I win or lose. But if I face against a guy who has crazy level boosted creatures, then what's even the point? So I think, like, Jurassic World Live has become pay to win. There's no doubt about that, because, early talks after boosts were put in the market was that it's pay to win, and it still is pay to win. So I don't know, I guess to kind of have one closing statement, yeah, that's why I love and hate Jurassic World Alive, which is the title of this video. And I don't know why I'm sometimes on and off, because right now I'm in an off period. I'm not playing it as often. And, other times I'm in, an on period where I played a lot, so I don't know. I guess it's a game that I can't just constantly play and have fun with. I have to take breaks from it, so yeah, that's basically all I said. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe. This was a different unscripted video, like I promised. Well, I didn't promise the unscripted part, but I did promise a different video. And I'll see you in the next video, which will be a review video. Bye.